Hello everyone. Oh, this is definitely the one because of the cars. This is definitely the one because of the cars. Check the audio. This is definitely the one because of the cars. Very good. Is the music playing? Not really. After all that? Alright. This is Dan, First Person Looter, and I am reviewing Spider-Man Miles Morales. As you can see here, I 100%ed the game. I looked at the trophies, and there are still tons of trophies that I still need to do. I still need to get. I need to purchase all the suits. I need to use a filter and a sticker with a picture. Oh, the music's back now. Okay. How does that sound? I need to purchase all the suits. I need to use a filter and a sticker with a picture. Oh, it's not bad. Okay, the music's way quiet. Oh, very good. So my quick review of the game, and also I wanted to try to do this video over all of the trophies, but apparently with the PS4 camera you can't add video on top of recordings when you're on the PS5. That sucks. I thought these were basically the same camera. I didn't think anything else changed. So my review on Spider-Man Miles Morales, I mean, I loved the first Spider-Man game, and this had a lot of the things that the other game had that I loved. I loved the web slinging. The combat is enjoyable for the most part, certainly. It's probably just me, because this always seems to be the case with other games where the controls it just doesn't do what I intend it to do, and it drives me nuts sometimes, where I try to grab onto one thing and the little icon to grab is not there, or I think it was there, but then I grab and I go shoop over to something else entirely, and that's especially frustrating when what it's taken me to is an object right next to an enemy. So I don't know what the hell that's all about. I'm a little frustrated that it doesn't tell you, it's not clear on what refills the finisher ability. It's not really clear how you refill your gadgets. Maybe the original Spider-Man didn't have this either, but I wish the suits themselves had their own abilities, and then you can add the mods and visors on top of that. But I liked having suits that had their own abilities. So I guess this frees you up to wear whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about, you want this ability, but now your suit looks like this, looks like something you don't want it to look like. So I guess in that regard, I guess it's a good thing to have the suits, the look of the suit, be completely independent. Alright, so now that I'm thinking about it, that's fine. The story was fine. I just wished it had a little bit more humor. I was glad to have the original Spider-Man still in the game talking a little bit. It had a little bit of humor to it, because otherwise this is a fairly dark game. Pretty dark game. And, if I want to play dark, sad, depressing games, I like those types of games, but I was excited to play this game for the fun and the action. I know there's drama in everything. There's drama in every comedy as well. There's always something that the character has goals, and there's usually obstacles towards those goals, so there's always drama in games, but this doesn't seem like it's a dark drama like The Last of Us Part 2 or something, so I wish it was a little bit happier and funnier. That's what I liked about the first game. And I was a little disappointed of how short the story was, that it was really only like 57 whatever % of the entire game's contents. And I like going around, grabbing all the stuff, and I guess it's okay that the icon is right there pointing you to exactly where a lot of the stuff is. But on the other hand, I guess it could be fun to have it be more of a challenge to find where these things are, but it's a big city, so maybe if they just, like how all the hidden chests were, it would have been nice if all the things were a little bit more hidden. Like the time capsules are just right there. They put an icon exactly where it is. and the treasure hunt with all the postcards had the icons basically close enough to where you needed to go. You didn't have to look very much for those. So it's pretty easy to find these things, and I guess that's what people are talking about with Elden Ring, that they don't just put an icon on a map and say go there, because some reviewer was saying open world games otherwise just feel like you're just checking off checklists, and I was saying originally I don't mind just checking off checklists if I enjoy what I'm doing to check it off. That's fine, and I did enjoy doing what I needed to do to check things off, but it also would be fun if it was a little bit more challenging to get those things done rather than just seeing the icon and going to it. I would be okay with a little bit more of a puzzle. I think the graphics look great. This headphone here looks really great, seeing the fingerprint lines in the smudging. It looks really nice. The shoe there, the curl of the toe, I can see the little angles of the triangles that make it up. Music was pretty good. It made me a little disappointed that the original Spider-Man just had very good, but sort of, I don't want to say generic, but it had the type of like Hollywood orchestral exciting music, like sort of like the way this is playing right now, but then he gets his own like beats and stuff. He gets his own type of more urban-y, I guess, is that the term, more hip-hoppy music. Like why didn't Peter Parker get like custom music of the type of music that he would be listening to? But yeah, when the combat worked, it was fun. I loved, my favorite part about most of these games, is all the different things that this controller does while you're playing. All the different vibrations, when you're web slinging, feeling that resistance. There's a little bit of resistance right there. All the different ways that it can vibrate, the lengths and the sharpness of them give you so many cool feelings. Doors opening, walking through the snow, punching and kicking and climbing and shooting the webs and swinging from the webs, and just all the different ways that this controller works. Jumping on cars, doing all this stuff, swinging different things. There's a different feeling swinging a little thing than swinging a big thing and swinging a person. I really like that. That's been my favorite thing on a lot of this stuff. And I like that there's a lot of trophies. There's a lot of trophies still to fill up. I thought maybe I was close to getting all the trophies, but yeah, having to do all that extra stuff. I have to get all the bonuses for all of the crimes, so I'm gonna have to work on that. I think there's something that's required that can only be done if you do New Game Plus, I think. So that'll be fun to do. Those are probably things I won't stream. Yeah, the biggest complaint though was how buttons didn't seem to be doing what they needed to do a lot of the time, and not having a clear guide as to how to refill your gadgets and stuff, because it made combat a lot more difficult. And like swinging from places plays a part in combat, and when the buttons aren't doing what I want them to do, either just not doing anything at all or doing something totally different, that bothered me. And also how I always seem to be, if I went after somebody, if there's a group of people and I go after somebody, I usually I'll go to them and face that way while everyone else is back here. I just jump to them. I try to jump straight down, and I'll go this way. I want to go this way so I can see everyone else behind them. But 9.9 times out of 10, my back was always facing the group of people that I still had to do, and that was frustrating. I would just have to watch Spider-Man's head and wait for the Spidey senses. But then sometimes I saw myself getting shot, and I never saw the Spidey sense. And then there was a lot of times it felt like as soon as you hit, as soon as you grabbed one gun, it like triggered the other gun to go off or something. It was like some other gun would shoot me almost every time as soon as I was grabbing someone else's gun. So that was, but yeah, the moves felt satisfying. The look of the moves, the finishers looked really cool. The graphics looked really nice. Loved the sound, especially love both the sound and the feeling of this when you get another power and an ability that it felt very satisfying. The menu looks a little barren. It looks a little. It looks like a alpha or a beta version of the menu, like it wasn't fully designed. It just looks a little flat. It's just sort of a lightly transparent bluish purple background with a red outline. Like there's no texture to it. There's that one little white line from the little Spider-Man face that goes down along the left side of all of the game slots, and it has like a little dash at the top and a little dash at the bottom. And then the saved game's got a few little lines on the corner there. But there's still just not much texture. It's just and the font looks borderline like a default font. But I recognize like the word amazing, that definitely looks like the font from the previous game. But yeah, it just looks a little basic. Maybe it's because I just came out of Red Dead Redemption 2 before this, where everything had old-timey textures and the texture of paper and the texture of writing. This just feels, yeah, sort of empty, sort of barren. Feels unfinished. The whole UI sort of felt unfinished. It didn't look bad. Nothing looked like it was wrong. It just looked like it wasn't done yet. Like, you're heading there, you're in the right direction, I like where you're going, but put some more stuff on it. Put more like digital stuff in the background, or add some webby things to it, or add some sort of texture or something. But yeah, I enjoyed the game very much. I wish it was a little bit longer of a game. It did feel like a DLC. Manhattan looked better with the details that I could see, but there's a lot of snow covering it, which kind of made it look actually less detailed with all the snow. It covered up a lot of the details. But seeing the snow fall and gave it like a film grainy effect, which looked really nice. I like that they give you a little bit more superpowers to use. The Venom Punch, it was nice to have that as an additional combat technique. It was nice seeing some of the old characters come back. So yeah, it's a solid game that was a little too short, that had a little too many with just issues with the buttons not doing what I wanted them to do. But like, if it was like out of 10, I would give it like a 7 out of 10, 7.5. Oh, and the last thing is, yeah, at the beginning of the game, I entered the code because I have the launch edition that I bought used. It's going to be backwards. And there was this code inside to get the extras, to get 3 extra points and all that stuff, and I entered it, and it said that it worked. It doesn't show on stream. They just kept it on the menu, but it said it was there, and then I didn't see anything, and then the next video I had rebooted my PlayStation and everything was there. So everything was there, but what I couldn't figure out was how to get Spider-Man Remastered. I went to the the PlayStation Store through the PlayStation, and all I saw was the regular one. I went to the website, the Sony website, and it only showed the regular one. I'm like, where the hell is the remastered version? And like, how do I get it? I don't even know how I get it. I did the upgrade to. I'm probably right in front of the upgrade to the whatever, and I just couldn't figure out for the longest time. And then, unbelievably, I realized that behind this was this guy, and it had a code, and I entered it, and that worked. Because there was another website that said something about like, oh, there's some weird thing with the PlayStation that if you have the regular version, it will think that you have the enhanced edition already, but it did not. So for whatever reason, when I took this out, I guess for whatever reason, because I'm an idiot sometimes, I didn't realize that this was like another slip of paper. I just sort of, I don't know what I thought. But I got it working, so we'll see if I play it, because I've already played the first Spider-Man twice. I played it normal, and then I did New Game Plus. So I really want to play it a third time just to have a different face. I don't know. I guess I would have the adaptive triggers and all on the DualSense upgrades, but I've already felt it here, so I'm curious what Wolverine is going to be like. Like, if this game is a little bit darker than Spider-Man, I'm more than happy to have a dark Wolverine, because Wolverine doesn't, he's not a kid, so it seems like it's more of a grown-up type story, and I would love for that to be dark. I mean, we saw that little teaser, I wouldn't call it a trailer, just a little teaser clip of him in the bar. So I think that makes it pretty clear that it's not going to be a happy-go-lucky, funny, haha game. It still looked very colorful and very punchy with its colors, which gives it sort of a comic book feel, and it is a comic book character, but I would love for it to get away from the comic book's colors and go more gritty, like the movie Logan, rather than the X-Men movies, which the X-Men movies actually aren't very colorful. They have very muted colors, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Wolverine. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Spider-Man Part 2. If they're going to be able to switch between both characters a la Grand Theft Auto 5 or what, I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see, and I hope they get the controls working, or maybe it is just me. It feels like I'm doing just fine moving through the city and doing regular combat here and there, but as soon as there was a challenge or had to go into one of those like labs where I had to fight a lot of enemies, it just, buttons seem to not work. Maybe I just under duress, I'm not as good. But yeah, that's what I gotta say. I'm gonna work on the trophies for sure, and that's it. So I am Dan, First Person Looter, and I have that's my review of Spider-Man Miles Morales. We will see what I do in the next video, what the next game is. I don't know. I got a few to choose from. We'll figure it out. All right, take care. Bye-bye.